An English poem from Class 10 NCRT Trees, written by Adrienne Rich, is a metaphor which compares the trees to women. The poet is a feminist and highlights the desire of women to be free and go out in the open. The trees want to free themselves from the floor of the house and go in the open forest. The main point of the poem is the conflict between man and nature. A plant is brought inside the house when it is a sapling, but as it grows, it gets suffocated with the limited space available. Hello everyone, you're watching The Tutor. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to subscribe it. Now let's move on to the poem. Before that, let's have a look on the poet and Adrienne Rich. Okay, she was an American poet and a feminist. She was also considered as an influential poet of second half of 20th century. Main idea of poem. The Trees is a short symbolic poem that focuses on the movement of trees that are initially indoors but seeking to escape to freedom in the forest. The trees represents nature but also the nature of being womanhood in particular. What makes this poem unusual is the speaker's attitude towards tree. Now let's see the first stanza. The trees inside are moving out into the forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. Okay. See here the tree inside. The trees inside means the plants that are inside the house. People keep many plants inside their house to decorate their balcony, veranda and rooms. So many plants are inside the home of people and these plants wish to move out into the forest because forest is the real place where trees and plants are supposed to be. Why the forest is empty here? Forest is empty because all the plants that were supposed to be in forest were brought into the home, so the birds could not make their homes on trees, and also insects were finding difficult to hide themselves, and also sunlight used to fall directly on the ground rather than falling on trees. So the forest that was empty all these nights are now to be filled with trees by morning because plants are rushing to go to the forest. Now let's see the next stanza. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves strain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long crabbed boughs shuffling under like newly discharged patients, half dazed, moving to the clinic doors. Okay, here disengage means to get free. Veranda means balcony, front part of the house. Strain means to make lot of effort. Twigs, topmost part of branches. And stiff means hard. Exertion means pressure. Cramped means to shrink. Boughs means larger branches of a tree. Shuffling, it's like crawling. Half dazed means not recovered properly. So in first stanza we saw that trees are moving towards the forest. So what they are doing, they are working hard whole night to shift themselves to the forest. They are fed up of being inside the house. They are not getting proper place, sufficient place to grow. They feel as if they are tied up inside the house. The leaves, the branches are feeling shrunk. Anyhow, they want to leave the floor of veranda and move to forest so that they could live peacefully. They are so eager to move to the forest, like how patients wait for discharge. Newly discharged patients are half recovered, but then too they wish to move to their house. So here, plants are compared to newly discharged patients. Even they want to move to the forest as early as possible. Now next stanza. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open, the smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Okay. So here, whisper. Whispers means to murmur. Okay, here, which word is they have? Okay, scarcely, scarcely. This is the difficult word. Scarcely means hardly. And departure, departure means to leave. Okay, departure means to leave. And lichen, lichen is a crusty patches on tree trunks. That means small plants that grows on tree trunks. So here the poet is sitting inside the house with doors open towards the veranda, and she is writing long letters. In her letter, what she is writing, she is not mentioning when the plants and trees are moving into forest, but she feels the freshness of night. Okay, by writing the letters, she feels the freshness of night, bright light of the moon, and she also smells the freshness of leaves, small plants that are grown on the tree trunks. So she is feeling the movement of plants and trees. Okay, and she is enjoying writing long letters. Then next, my head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking, the trees are stumbling forward into the night, winds rush to meet them, the moon is broken like a mirror, its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. Okay, here whisper means to murmur, to talk slowly. Stumbling means walk unsteadily. Oak, it's a name of a tree. So the poet is saying that her head is full of murmuring sound, and these sounds will end up by tomorrow. Okay, these sounds will end up by tomorrow when all the trees and plants will move from the house towards the forest. So by tomorrow, her mind will be free and silent. She says she can also hear the breaking of glass made by plants and trees of the house, because plants are trying hard to come out of the glass under which they are caged. So they are trying to break those glass and come out. And while these plants are rushing to come out, they are falling on one another. She also hears the sounds of winds that are coming to meet plants. She also feels that the moon is broken like a mirror, and its pieces are falling on the peak of oak trees. Okay, so here we have done with the stanzas, the poem. Now let's see the poetic device in the poem. Simile, like newly discharged patients. Here trees are moving like discharged patients. They are compared to discharged patient. Still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Here the movement of plants are compared to the voice in the room. Then the moon is broken like a mirror. The moon is compared to broken mirror. Then imagery. Imagery means when you tell a sentence, that image is formed in your mind. So its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. Then rhyme scheme. It's a free verse poem, so there is no rhyme scheme here. I hope you have understood the poem, explanation of the poem. If you liked it, hit the like button, share and subscribe the channel.